What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. This video is entitled Unintended Consequences Are Still Your Fault. So I was having this conversation with my son yesterday, and I just think it's apropos that, I have to say this to a lot of adults also. It's still your fault. If, unintended consequences, you make a decision and you think it's going to end this way, but maybe it does end that way. But then some other dominoes fall and some other things happen along the way. And you didn't mean for it to happen that way, but it did. That's your fault. No matter how you slice it, that's your fault. And here's the thing. It seems in society now that, people have an issue because they think unintended consequences are just like no harm, no foul. But they harm and they're foul, right? So, the old saying, a hit dog hollers. But if that means you're throwing a rock into a pack of dogs. The dogs that gets hit is the one that hollers, right? So if you know which one you hit, or you hit one because of the sound it made. But what if those dogs attack somebody? Trying to attack you and attack the wrong person. You threw a rock at the dog, the hit dog hollered, the dog said, I'm going to get somebody. They got the wrong person. And you go, oops, my bad. That's your fault. That's absolutely your fault. Coming from the neighborhood, some of us come in. When people are in gangs, you go out and you do some dirt, right? All the other side knows is it's one of y'all. I'm gonna get one of y'all back because I don't know which one of y'all did it. So they go back and retaliate, and somebody takes the fall for it. Somebody could potentially lose their life for it. But you got away with what you did, per se, because they didn't get you. You just got your fellow comrade killed. That's your fault. But you'll turn around and say something, man, we at war with those, with such and such and such and such, because they got this person. They did this. Well, see, prior to you crying about them getting your homeboy, you was out there, y'all was celebrating, another group of y'all was celebrating getting one of their homeboys. So the reason why you at war is because of you. So you couldn't stand on it and say, hey, I did that. If y'all looking for somebody, look for me. Because normally how it works is if they know who it is, they coming to get you. But a lot of y'all, that part you want to hide behind the flag. Right? But these are unintended consequences. But it's still your fault. I'm going to use it in a different context. People out here having unprotected sex. And there's some people out here who wind up catching something and didn't know. The person who they were dealing with had something they ain't telling on purpose, and they had unprotected sex, they caught that, and then they gave it to somebody else. Now, people look at it like, you shouldn't be having unprotected sex because you don't know these people and their sexual history. You're absolutely right. But when you're out here operating and you have something and you didn't get yourself checked, it's still your fault you gave it to another person. even even though somebody gave it to you, who gave it to you, that's their fault, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly. Who you gave it to, that's your fault, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly. So those are unintended consequences, but it's still your fault. Now, that goes the same sometimes when it comes to when people make a baby, right? You have a child together. If you two might wind up having a beef because one person might have intended, was in the frame of mind that they wanted a child and the other person wasn't. So, you wind up having a kid with a person under false pretense. And now the kid suffers, and you want to blame the other person who wasn't trying to make a child with you from the beginning, because now you're in this influx with how we gonna make this work, and your child is suffering. That's your fault, because you entered into this, with the dirty mentality to begin with. You didn't want to tell somebody what you were on from the jump. So now what winds up happening is the trust was broken before the child was even born. And now you wanna patch it up your way so you can get what you want and get the peace you're looking for and get. That's not how it works. Because you'll never be trustworthy again. Never. Now you just gotta hope for the best, right? But it's unintended consequences. It's still your fault, And sometimes people have a hard time dealing with the fact that just because you got a plan, your plan is normally based on what you want to get, and how you want to get it. And the objective is to get what you want. Your objective isn't to get what you want without spilling that over into other people's lives. That part most people don't plan. They don't care about that part. And a lot of times what winds up happening is people wind up getting into it because you did what you want, you got what you want, and now there's going to be blowback because what you did and what you got wind up spilling over into somebody else's life, and then they got an issue with you. And I didn't mean it for it to come, and the phrase I didn't mean for this to happen isn't good enough. So it reminds me of children. When you're a kid and somebody does something, they tell you to say you're sorry, and you say you're sorry, but the other kid knows you're not sorry because the damage is already done, which is also a religious biblical thing where people want forgiveness, which is really immature. You want to be forgiven, but you don't want to atone. See, religion actually talks about atonement. You forgive a person and they atone. You get what I'm saying? You don't just walk around, I forgive you, no harm, no foul. No. If a person is actually truly sorry for what they did, their actions try to atone that. This why this ideology that everybody's going to heaven just because they believe in God. No, they not. Obviously, y'all didn't. If y'all are religious people of any religion, y'all know you're judged on your works. You're just not going to show up as a spirit one day. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I did a lot of stuff, but, forgive me. It don't work like that. And just to play stupid like it does is ridiculous. But because of unintended consequences, it shows, if you do something intentionally or unintentionally, and you see that somebody has to pay for what you did, and you step up and you atone that, then you're taking responsibility for your unintended consequences, and you are atoning, that blowback or that spillover into other person's life. So that's real. But when you're not, you meant to make, how can I say this right? Whatever happens, you did not care who got affected by it, as long as you got what you want at the end of the day. And that's why it's your fault. Period. So I'm done on this one. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.